What pieces of information should I always be gathering, and where should I store them, and what should I do with that information that I gathered?
Let's start with what kind of events do you run? Do you plan?
Usually I'm more of a participant as a vendor. We have done galas throughout the year, and we're trying to switch over to fundraisers. We have a hot sauce that we sell.
Okay.
It's a plant-based hot sauce, and that's primarily where we are. We've done some festivals, we've done some pop-ups, but we are trying to do something with the data that we gather, without being intrusive, but at the same time capitalizing on our market.
Right.
Which I figured out first is, what do I care about knowing about my customers? Because you could collect all kinds of data on them, but if you're not doing anything with it, what's the point of collecting it?
Right.
We have a constant contact account that we put them into, and then we're throwing out information, probably I think the bi-weekly email we do, where it goes, hey, come visit us at this event. We're going to be doing a karaoke night here. And just get their name and email so we're able to keep in contact with them, and just keep them updated on, hey, here's where we're going to be. Here's what we're doing. Come check out this event that one of our celebrities will be at. Getting them engaged, and that gets them coming back for more. And since they know where we'll be, in your case, it'll be hey, I'm running out of this stuff. I need to go buy more. And if you're nearby, I don't know if you sell online and charge shipping, but if you do, knowing you're at a convention nearby, they may rather go by there and pick it up from you than having to pay the shipping.
Absolutely. Okay.
Especially if you collect something like zip code from them as well. So you can tell generally where they are. If you're moving around a lot, or you have a big region, then you can create mailing lists specific to certain regions. So when you're going to be in these people's regions, you can say, hey, come check us out at this event.
Okay. That's brilliant.
Well, and you also want to consider the audiences for the various platforms. So like Instagram is mainly around photo content. So if you have interesting photos or whatever, you can post there. You don't want to have a whole lot of text, because people aren't really caring about that on that platform. But something like Twitter always is, text. You can have links and stuff, but mainly short little blurbs. And then your newsletter can be your more in-depth, have a whole article or whatever. You can describe your new hot sauce product or something like that, and have the social media be short, quick, easy to digest things. You could have like your a special or a coupon or something to try to boost engagement. You get people to follow you and give them some sort of discount, that sort of thing. But that social media stuff, usually to try to grab people's attention, you want it to be short and impactful, whatever statement you have or image or whatever. But they're not going to read a long thing on social media. One thing that might be helpful is if you're collecting like people who actually purchase product from you, if you're tying in what products that specific person is buying, how much, that kind of thing, you can learn who your biggest supporters are. You can target them with special deals, or make sure they always know where you're going to be at conventions or whatever, because if they're giant fans of yours, they may want to come just to check out your newest sauces or whatever.
So I'd say returning versus new customer, that's just a checkbox. Have you bought from us before? Check or no. So that's super easy to collect. And then you know what percentage of your sales at any given event are new versus returning.
Okay.
So I would suggest you keep two databases. One would be data that you collect about your actual customers, the actual people buying your product, but then start collecting data about the events you attend as well. What's successful for you, where you are, how many people attended, how many other vendors there were, what the split of vendors were, if it was mostly food vendors or mostly art vendors, and keep that information as well, so you can find out generally the trends of what kind of events do well for you.
Okay.
Anything you do, split test it. Do you know about split testing?
I don't.
Okay.
I mean, I do, but I don't. It's
so
almost like
iterations, right? Pick a thing, Do that for a little bit, change it just a little bit, change one variable, do that for a little bit, change one variable, do that for a little bit, and see what works best for you. So you can try 2 different versions of the same thing at the same time, see which one works out better, take the one that works best, adjust it a little bit so you now have 2 new versions, run those together, pick the one that works best.
Constant Contact has that built in. They call it A/B testing, but it's the same thing where we'll basically, you give it a list, it'll split that list in half, send half of your list version A, half of your list version B, and it will keep track of who responded to which versions.